I had to see them for who they are. And it's not they, because there is no they, it's just consciousness, right? So I had to learn that my purpose here was not to become somebody like, somebody's partner or whatever. My purpose here is to be a great dad, because I think it may be something that I fucked up before, and that's why I think, because history is always an indicator, right? And I think my personal circumstances, because everyone's personal circumstances, I think, is the cheat code. I think you need to look at your personal circumstances from childhood, right? No, true shit. Like because that's your default settings you come in by, right? You need to look at your default settings that you came in with, right? And recognize, okay, like what's wrong in this situation, or what am I not liking here? Let me fix that, because that's probably what I fucked up, and yeah, and in many ways, like, you still, like, because if you don't fix that, you repeat it, and I was on the cusp of repeating it, right on the cusp of repeating it, I mean, to be honest, I actually partly repeated it, and then until I realized that, nah, that's not who I am. Like, I'm me, and this is, you have to be free, like, you have to be willing. The hardest thing I've realized is the hardest thing I've realized in all of this consciousness awakening thing is you have to be willing to stand alone, bro. You have to be willing to stand alone, because everybody's walking with the mass, everybody's doing what everybody's doing, everybody's banding together, and people, like, for me, I've always, like, had an interest in animal behavior, right? And when you look at animal behavior, when animals band together, right, it's because of fear of the unknown. Solitary animals are actually very spiritual, because they don't give a fuck. Like, they're just out there. You understand? And that's why all the solitary animals tend to be the ones that we talk about in the spiritual sense. The snake is spoken about in the spiritual sense. The owl spoken about in the spiritual sense. The tiger, the cat. Like, they don't want to be with nobody. They just want to go out there and just do, like, their shit. But you have to be willing to do the same shit. You have to be willing to, like, stand alone, because, even standing with the pack, some people say, oh, I'm an individual, I don't stand with the pack. But if you're following the programs of the pack, you are with the pack. Because if there are programs and algorithms that have been implanted into the game, the simulation, right, that you are following, that at some level you don't actually vibrate with or fuck with, you shouldn't be doing it. Like, I never believed in marriage, right? I never did from childhood. Like, even from a child, I knew that I didn't want to get married. Like, and I don't say this in a funny way, but I never got it. To me, it seemed kind of dumb, like, that two people would need a contract in order for them to stay married, then that's not genuine love. I always knew that as a child. Like, you ask anyone that knows me, they'll tell you this shit. I've been saying this since childhood, and I used to get told off for it. But, like, it's true. Because in my opinion, I felt like real love is when the door is open, but you choose not to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a house, the doors are open, you can go, but you choose not to leave. That's real love. So then, that's a real kind of partnership. But if we need to actually kind of, like, bolt the doors down, yeah, contractually, yeah, put penalties and shit on their security and all type of shit, that's not love. That's imprisonment. That's imprisonment. You're being imprisoned, and I'm not saying that people shouldn't get married. Please, don't. That's me. My personal experience in this life thing, marriage was not my thing, and, like, I'm lucky in a way, because I got out of it, even though I had to I literally went on a self-destructive path. I was so weak, I couldn't say it, because I was under the illusions, I wasn't a man. I couldn't, say my truth and shit like that. So I went on the opposite way. I went the destructive path, right? Doing all types of fuckeries, essentially trying to force a reaction. That's what I was doing, right? Because I couldn't do it myself, when I could have just turned around and said, actually, I don't want to do this anymore. And all because, again, you're not being truthful to yourself, and you're following the programs, like, oh, people are supposed to, you're going to be a bad person, like, nobody gives a fuck, bro. Like, it's your life, man. It's really your life. Like, who gives a fuck about the neighbors and the wider society? Fuck them. Like, what do they do for you, bro? Like, do you think if you needed £1,000 today or £10,000 today, one of your neighbors would give you 10 grand? Fuck no. So why are you living for them? Why are you living for them? Like, it's literally the dumbest thing a person can do on some real shit. Like, it is literally the dumbest thing you can do on some real shit. Like, why do I care about what you think? Like, who the fuck are you? Like, on the 3D level, who the fuck are you? On the consciousness level, I'm expressing me, you're expressing you. Why the fuck do I need to take on your expression? Why the fuck do I need to take on anything from you at all? And even if we go another step deeper, I'm in my own micro universe. Why the hell would I care what's going on in another person's micro universe? Nah, it's stupid, man. So I just wanted to say, like, I wanted to talk about this today, like from a consciousness standpoint and a real life standpoint. You need to be authentic, man. You need to be real. You need to be real. Like, real. Like, and was it Dr. Seuss that said that, you need to speak your mind because those that will mind don't matter and those that matter won't mind. That's the fact. I mean, I used to find his drawings really fucking creepy. But that there, if he said that, that is deeply profound. You know, you need to be, you never need to dim your light in no capacity for nobody, bro. Like, we do that all the time. Like, you're texting somebody and you're like, actually, no, they're not going to like that. Then you backspace it, you delete it, and then you change a word or change this or change that because you want people to perceive you a certain way. We're not even communicating how we're supposed to authentically. And even when we speak, people are not saying what's really on your mind. Like, your mom pisses you off, your dad pisses you off, your best mate fucks you off, blah, blah, blah. Say it, bro. Like, say it. Like, bro, I'm willing to, bro, I came here alone. I'm willing to die alone. I'm willing to do that. I'm not afraid of it. I don't want people around my bed like, oh my God, please don't go. No, if it's my time to go, I'll go. Bro, I've literally been, bro, I've had like 3 or 4 NDEs, bro. I've had 3 or 4 of them. Like, trust me, I've had 3 or 4 of them. And apart from that, loads of other close shaves, loads of other situations that could have gone completely fucking crazy. Man, you know? Do you understand? So, it's like, you're here by yourself. It's your life experience, right? I'm not, because all of that kind of stuff, like you're trying to, you know, do something so people be there for you, and this contractual, conditional love thing that people have going on, is all ego because you're doing it because you want something back. That's not real love, man. You need to say what you feel like. If me, was it one of these guys, Alex Hormozy or someone like that, one of his videos came up and he said something like, you need to check people. And when he said that, I thought that's being authentic. Because for me, when you're my friend, right? I'm the type of friend that if you say something I don't like, I'll call it out there and then. And then you have to make the decision. You feel me? Because for me, I don't see it like, you know, let's all, you know, that didn't, you see, what happens is, in a lot of human situations, this is what happens, that's what we end up getting to these spaces where people pick up so much tension and they explode and, you know, things collapse and stuff because people pile up. It becomes a point scoring contest, right? And animals do that. Humans who are higher order beings should not be doing that. You know, and especially if you're living authentically or living as consciousness, you should not be doing that because that's low level stuff. You're behaving like a monkey. So it's like, if something happens, right, you get offended, right? The alpha male does something, or like, I'm giving an example with animals and I'll relate it back to humans, right? So the alpha or something, or one of the beta males around the alpha, one might do something to offend the other one, right? Or one might do something. And because he's afraid to respond, he just like, he puts in at the back of his mind, right? And then something else happens and he puts it in the back of his mind. And then eventually, one day something happened. There's a big fucking blow up. And then one of them has to die. It's crazy, right? Humans do the same thing. Just like somebody does something that you don't like or says something you don't really like. You then internalize it. And then number one, from a consciousness standpoint, you shouldn't even be internalizing it because that's a reflection of something that you actually need to rise above, right? So it's just making you aware of something that you're holding on to ego-wise or something. So at that moment, right, you silence the ego in terms of like, I'm not like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of like, because you authentically love who you are, you replace that ego reaction with, because it's all like, it's like mirror reflections, right? So instead of going into the darker polarity, you come into the light. So rather than being offended, like, oh, what does it mean? What does it mean? No, park it. I genuinely love myself, and I don't think that another human being should approach me this way. So on that energy, not the negative ego energy, I'm going to call it out. Like, yo, don't say that again. Like, that's not cool, and then they can then make a decision. Like, people just need to be genuine, man. Relationships, like, loads of stuff. And it's like, how many, we take a lot of shit. Like, she's doing something that you're not really feeling. Like, my cousin's going through this shit right now. He's with a girl that he knows, like, and then he says, like, but then he's still there. And I'm like, bro, don't come to me when the ship starts to sink, okay? Because you are choosing this path, right? You've chosen this path. So that's what you're on, right? You're not being authentic to yourself because of insert whatever, whether it's sex, whether it's fucking the comfort, whether it's the safety. That's why I say that most human relationships are actually fake. Because for the most part, they're just like, it's like he's afraid of the unknown, she's afraid of the unknown. They're just doing what society is telling them to do. And, really, he pisses her off, she pisses her off. And, I remember I grew up in a house, right? And my relatives, the people that I lived with, like, they were married, right? But they genuinely hated each other. You could see it. And it was so fucking strange to see, like, why the fuck are you even here? Like, you literally can't stand her. You can't stand him. What are you doing here? Like, you're literally sacrificing your life. Yeah? You're literally sacrificing your life in order for you to impress everybody, or in order for you to not break society's fucking codes, or in order for you to be seen a certain way. Bro, it's so crazy. Like, the same way, you're afraid of being seen as a divorcee or a single mom or loner or fucking whatever, quote unquote, right? Is the same energy that they gave the conspiracy theorists, people like me, in the beginning. And that's why I always say you have to stand alone. I've been a conspiracy theorist since I was like 16, bro. I've been asking questions since forever, because when I was young, I had spiritual encounters, right? Things happened to me and I used to dream and I used to see things and shit. So I've been asking questions forever, right? And all through my life, I knew that there was more to this life. And I'd ask questions. People would think I'm crazy. But at the same time, like, because I was authentic in that kind of space, I was still the coolest kid anyway. But I'm the coolest kid, but I'm still a conspiracy theorist. But at the same time, I'm one of the smartest kids in the school. So the geeks fuck with me, and I'm a rebel, but so the teachers don't like me, so everybody loves me. It's like I was like literally walking in between worlds, man. It was crazy, just by being authentic. And when you become authentic in your life, bro, you will literally be walking between worlds in this dimension as well. Like, this dimension will not be able to hold you anymore. And if we relate being authentic to the game, being authentic is, right, so God is playing you in this construct, right? But then there's an interface, and let's call that the mind, right? So the interface, the mind, is what kind of allows me to make sense of this video game experience, right? And you've been here so long that the mind has kind of taken over, because the mind was making all these suggestions. The mind is like an AI thing, yeah? Think of it like an AI bot. Go left, go right. No. It protects you, yeah? It protects the avatar in this thing. And you've been doing it for so long because it's helped you and it's guided you a couple of times, and you deferred your spirituality, i.e. your higher selfness, to your mind. When your mind took on that power, right, your mind literally became a reckless boss. He was like, nah, you're going to do this, you're going to follow this program, because the mind is connected to the mind of the reality, the simulation. So what the simulation expects in terms of compliance and it takes you the opposite way, because by you following compliance, not being yourself, energy sacrifice, being inauthentic, being fake, doing the fucking society bullshit, doing the society play, becoming an NPC, becoming a nobody, yeah? Forgetting who you are and becoming inauthentic. You follow those programs, right? Literally, what you are is on the opposite side, literally the 180-degree opposite side. Real shit. So it's like you're playing this game, the mind is connected to this thing, and because and you're born as a kid, blah blah blah. So you defer to it, and the mind takes over. You're really connected to the whole thing, blah 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 blah. So at some point in your life, you might have a spiritual awakening, dark night of the soul, a breakup, a bereavement, near-death experience. Some shit might happen. You might become disillusioned. You might see a glitch in the matrix. You might have a spiritual encounter. The veil might start ripping. You might come across some information that might make you question reality. You might start to look at the earth and start to ask real life questions about evolution or space or earth or what we are, who we are, why things are the way they are. You start to ponder the bigger questions. You come across philosophy. You come across some of the other people, people that have spoken on topics like this, people that talk about the oneness and the universe and hopefully in this, and that thing, I call it, it's like a something that happens in the video game stage, right? So as you're playing the game, boom, 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 you go to level 3, one or a few of these things or multitude of these things are going to happen to you. Bosh! Once it happens, it tears you from the mind temporarily. COVID was one example. Yeah, because everything it was like a bonus one for all of humanity. It was like a big one, like, right, do with it what you want. Some people started to ask questions, like fully fucking NPC, middle of the road square guys started to think, hang on, this don't make no fucking sense. The separation between consciousness and mind. They started to think, nah, this is not right. It was like a doorway. And then people started to dig and dig and dig and dig. There are people that, because of what happened at that time, are no longer the people that they were before 2020. Facts. There are people that hit 2020, came out the other side of 2020. Think of 2020 as a stage in a video game, right? Or a level or a world. Yeah. 2020 or a dimension, yeah, or portal. You go through that portal. 2020 is a portal. There are people that hit that portal, came out the other side, completely different people. Look at the amount of relationships that broke down. Because people were realizing that it was inauthentic. Friendships broke down. Loads of shit that people were just, nah. So when that happens, you need to use that as a catalyst to catapult yourself back the other direction. And some people started to walk back the other way and tell the mind, nah, I get it. You're part of the game. I'm not part of the game. I'm not from here, bro. Like, like I'm not from here. Like, I get that we are like, you're like my shadow and shit, but you are from this world, this video game world. I'm not from here. So I'm going to do what I feel in terms of like, or go the direction that my heart is pulling me to, because that's what I truly am. I'm not you. I'm not the mind. And then through this practice, people start to head the other direction, finding themselves, learning to love themselves, learning to see the world again. Like, there's motherfuckers that had never ever seen the world. Ever. They hadn't even seen the world. They were so plugged into the matrix that they hadn't even stopped to even think about the stars. Or think about the moon, think about the ocean, think about it. They live these NPC lives. Wake up, office, home, 2 weeks in Mexico, come back, box life. And then until they start to snap out of it, they start to realize, oh my God, there's so much more to life. There's way more to life. And again, this is another thing that we need to talk about, and that's mortality. And nobody wants to talk about mortality because everybody wants to live forever. My nigga, let me tell you straight off the rip, you're not going to live forever. You're going to die. You will die. Accept that in your heart, as a man or a woman. Accept it with your chest. You're going to motherfucking die. Yeah, you're going to die. You will die. And let me tell you something. When it comes, in all my NDE experiences, I never went on the other side, but I hit the door. Like, literally, I've seen the things on the other side. Bro, the place is wild. Like, I'm telling you, it's like a sadness because you feel like you're leaving here behind the people that you love and shit like that, right? But at the same time, there's also like this love, and it's like a weird kind of, whoa, hang on a minute. Like a love that you've never felt before, bruv. I can't even explain this shit without getting emotional. This stuff is deep. You feel me? You're not from here. So bear that in mind and just be authentic, man. Like, why the fuck are you holding on to, like, having all these chips on your shoulders and, you know, treating people a certain way, people you've never met, you know, all these expectations? Like, what the fuck? Why can't you just live and just let another person live? Live and let live. Why can't you just do that? Why do you need to gossip? Why do you need to talk about him? Like, sometimes I people watch, right? I'll go to the local coffee shop and just chill out. And sometimes you hear the conversations in the background. And people, 99% of stuff people talk about is literal dog shit. Literally dog shit. Oh, your so-and-so is going here. Oh, they're going on holiday next week. Oh, no, never heard of it. Oh, I've had a long day, man. My fucking this happened. Literally. Fucking animal, low-level fucking video game shit. Imagine a spirit, yeah, walking through a video game VR world, right? And then talking about some shit that happened in the VR world. Like it fucking matters. It's dumb, man. This consciousness thing, we need to wake up on every fucking level, bro. And it's all well and good, us being aware that we are consciousness and us being aware that we are one, but we need to put this shit in practice. You need to walk the talk. We need to be authentic. You need to be real. If you have somebody in your phone book that you don't talk to, bro, cut the connection. Why are you having all these tethers to fucking things that are draining your energy? Don't you know that even, okay, let me go deep. You know, somebody having your phone number is having access to you. They literally have access to your energy. Did you know that? They literally have access to your energy. Because they can call you. They can literally, they have a pipe like, oh, I think of it this way. Yeah, you're a human being, but there's a pipe that's connected to your aura. They literally can put a Hoover, a vacuum cleaner, attach it to the pipe, and just press, and then it will literally suck your energy straight away. They can do that because they can text you, they can call you, they can reach you. If there's somebody negative you don't want to talk to, cut them off, my guy. Cut them off. Why do you need them around you? What for? What are you trying to prove? For what? Maybe emergency. You're manifesting negative shit that you don't even want. Fuck them off. Cleanse, purge. You know, habits that you know that are not serving you, behaviors you know that are not serving you. You know it anyway. Stop it. Like Michael Jordan said, just stop. Just stop. Just stop, bro. Just stop. You know you shouldn't be watching porn. You know you shouldn't be fucking doing those things. You know you shouldn't be on those apps. You shouldn't be doing those things. Stop it. Why are you letting your mind rule you? You know when that voice comes, right? And that's why they say the devil, the mind is the devil, right? Because the mind has such a powerful voice, man. Because your mind can literally get you killed, you know. And when I had my car crash, I remember, you know, anyone that's fallen asleep at the wheel will tell you this. Like, when the voice comes, right? Oh, don't worry, you can just close one eye. Yeah, it's all right. You can just close. No, don't worry about it. It'll only be like 1 second. There's no cars here anyway. Who do you think is talking to you? Who do you think is talking to you? It's so convincing. It will literally beguile you, bro. See, that voice there is the voice that beguiled Eve. Because it's almost like you can't resist, bruv. Anyway, man, I've gone on a little bit, but yeah. Be authentic, man. Be real. Be real as fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's better for you to be real as fuck and just have one person in your corner, and that person being you, than to be fake and have all these people that you think are in your corner, but they're not. Yeah, that's it.